Hi, my name is Holly Hands. I'm Claims Vice President at CareSource. We are a primarily government program insurer, predominantly Medicaid. We cover about 2 million lives across 8 states. I've been working with Firstsource for going on 5 to 6 years now. I brought Firstsource in when I first came to the company and have been with Firstsource since. My initial statement of work that Firstsource collaborated with us on was claim processing and outsourcing of claim processing and adjustments. We quickly branched that into additional processing, throughout operations. Since then, we have embarked on digital imaging intake, digital mailroom, portal, so kind of all that digitization of incoming stuff. And now we are working with Firstsource on intake, so authorization, ingestion, and case creation to kind of all feed in together. So we've got Firstsource in pretty much all operations. I feel that Firstsource is differentiated from other partners in the collaboration and the strategy partnership that they provide, through collaboration and engagement at the executive and throughout their enterprise, in the interactions with my team and with me. I think that they're not just a partner who gets stuff done, which is how I get stuff done as Firstsource, but it's more than that. It's, for example, my one-on-ones with my partners, Harish and Anoop, are predominantly around strategy orchestration and where are we headed and what do we think it's going to take to get there and what do you think about that and what are you seeing in the industry? And I really value that collaboration because it gives me added perspective that within my head to the ground perspective within my own payer and that concentration, I may otherwise not slow down to do, to look across the industry and get that added perspective. So I value that partnership. And together, I feel like we set that strategy for how I'll orchestrate against my long-term goals. An example of where Firstsource has really come to the table and demonstrated that kind of strategic partnership is when we first brought up our claim processing statement of work and that engagement. We had our auto adjudication is quite high for industry, across the industry. We're industry leading in auto adjudication. And because of that, we're continuously automating the widgets that Firstsource would otherwise be transacting against, right? And so the more I increase auto adjudication, the less they have to process. And we have this evolution that constantly, flows. And we had this concentration on help me find those opportunities, despite the fact that at the processor level, our claim processors are working themselves out of a job by design. But we continue to grow and we continue to add more states and more products and more lines of business. And so we get this evolution and this ebb and flow of decrease the pens and I'll give you more states. Keep decreasing my pens and we'll keep growing. And they brought early when we started our monthly, business reviews, they started bringing, it was a standing agenda item, standing things that said, hey, we just kind of adjudicate these back. You're stopping them in your pen design, but we don't need you to. We're just processing those. And not all partners would have done that. Many partners down to that, adjudicator level may have been inclined to say, shh, don't tell them, these are easy. But they don't. They continuously bring, to those business reviews, added opportunities for us to continuously tweak and improve our auto adjudication. So together, we're moving that bar. To lead into the future using AI and this tech, focus in the near future, I think is going to be driven by the collaboration that's already in place. And I don't think it's going to be a one-size-fits-all path forward. We've got, I think it's going to take several entities, Firstsource, CareSource, and others that kind of orchestrate and collaborate together to kind of piece in where we land with AI introductions through reporting and functions that today, for example, we're working on processes to reach across platforms and produce through what we're doing manually now through root cause analysis of issue resolution, problems that are introduced, and we're working through, ticketing structure, and the folks who are working these tickets lose perspective across that there may be multiple tickets, and so we've got analysts pulling all of that unique data together to present to someone who goes out and hunts and pecks for all of this data and then presents to them, okay, what are our trends? What do I need to do? We're trying to introduce an AI model that not only does all of that investigation, but pushes that triage out so that all of that kind of hunting and pecking is done. And not only does it do that, but it actually presents, proposals and analytics around, hey, here's what we see is the problem, and look here and focus here. And that's all AI capability that doesn't exist yet. So Firstsource will be a critical partner in creating that because they're so close to our business and my strategy and where I want to go that we couldn't do it. Even if we have, AI creation over here and we've got 4 players at the table, no matter how you slice it, they're ingrained. They have to be at the table in order for me to be successful.